Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Daddy to Captain podcast. Today, we have with me a very, very special guest. This is a gentleman who has been around since MADHouse's inception, essentially, since we were back at the band hall. They have been involved in some capacity or another, not as much as they would like, but they have been involved. He's a man of mystery, a man of passion, a man of action. Someone who I want the rest of the community to know about a little bit more because I think his story is a good one. And he's someone who I want to be involved in MADHouse much more going forward into the future. This is a man who always claims I shouldn't even be here, and he doesn't know anything about nothing. But I would like to introduce you guys to the one, the great P3rcival.
Hello. How are y'all doing?
Well, thank you for being here on my show.
No problem.
I know just having you help me, like, me going to go pick you up and set this up and everything like that. That's been the theme of a lot of our interactions. Considering every time you're around, I always feel like we're putting you to work with one way or another, dude.
Never a problem.
So I always appreciate the help. But yeah, with that in mind, dude, I mean, for a lot of people who don't know who you are, right? Tell me a little bit more about your username, P3rcival, right? I mean, obviously that's not your real name. I don't know. You share with me your real name, but I'm always like, nah, your username is so much cooler. Let's just go with that. But talk to me. Where does the name P3rcival come from?
Oh God. I was like 12. No, I was 13. You ever read Ready Player One?
I've not read it. I've seen the movie, but I'm familiar with the book.
Okay, now I'm older. I hate that book. That book is trash. But I did read it, and I thought that's a neat username, and so I stuck with it. And now I'm here. Like it just became what I just use for everything because I just couldn't come up with anything better. So I like to add a 3 instead of an E because I think that's cooler.
Yeah, but unfortunately on Instagram you don't get to use just P3rcival, right?
Yeah. Someone took it, so now my username is just like Instagram was taken on Instagram, but it tends to be that on just P3rcival or variation of it on like anything, thankfully.
Anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the first time you interacted with MADHouse or you came across MADHouse?
Yeah, it was, oh God, like 2023 at this point. I was just kind of looking to go outside basically because I was so at that point I was just kind of new to tournaments and like not fighting games, but definitely new to tournaments. Like I'd been to Evo at that point, Evo 2022. That was fun, and like I've been to conventions and they had like small little podunk tournaments, and so it was 2023. I kind of just needed. I was kind of going through some things, so I was like, I need to go outside more. So I was like, let's find something I know. All right, cool. It's tournaments. So I go on like Start GG, and I see y'all. And it's like, y'all in San Jose, y'all doing Third Strike? Great, I'll do Third Strike. I love Third Strike. And yeah, like you said earlier, it was still at the band hall, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, and I remember going. I see this band hall. I was like, this can't be this like like I don't know if this is correct. So I go in and I see that everyone's upstairs. Like, okay, that's probably it. And I think I go upstairs and like there's the bar at the band hall and I see Michelangelo. That was I think the first person I interacted with. Hello, hey. Yeah, I think that was the first person I interacted with within MADHouse. And I remember I wasn't wearing this vest, but I remember he was looking at my vest. He started asking me things about it.
I'm pretty sure when you first showed up, that was a time period where we ran Third Strike. And funny enough, I wasn't like in the building. I was like working remotely, right?
Yeah, it was just Michelangelo and Dakota.
And Atlanta.
No, I'm bad with names.
I love how you always fuck up our names, but you're not the only one that does that, dude. Yeah. So it was just Michelangelo in Atlanta. And what's funny enough is how you talk about like, oh, we're running Third Strike and how Third Strike has been the game that has brought the most, like, I don't know, like a lot of a lot of key figures in MADHouse, right? Like obviously Katsu showing up for Third Strike.
That's the first time I met Katsu too.
Yeah,
that same event.
You showing up, and it's just like, and I remember seeing you on the cameras. You at that point in time, you hadn't had as many patches on your clothing, right? But you did have a flag, I believe, right? Did you not?
A bum flap, yeah. I didn't have it. I got it. I made it. So I do a lot of sewing, clearly, and a lot of patches. And it was Cop Killer, like from
Ice-T?
Ice-T, yeah, body count.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see your hesitation now. You're like, it was a flag. You're like, yeah, it was there. No, we'll leave that in. I don't care.
I don't care either. It's just,
I'm a big body count fan, and that's one of the reasons why, right? Because I saw body count at Aftershock.
Oh, sick.
And I did not even know it was body count until I got there, where I believe it was like 2021, I believe it's 2021. I went to Aftershock, and I'm crossing the bridge in Sacramento, right, to get to the park. Mm-hmm. And I'm hearing this band, and this guy's going crazy, and there's a bunch of people moshing. And I'm like, as we're getting closer, I'm like, that kind of sounds like Ice-T, right? But we're at Aftershock, right? I'm like, isn't Ice-T in a metal band? Nah, man, it's probably not him. It's whatever. And then as we're getting closer and closer, I'm like, dude, that really sounds like Ice-T. Like, am I tripping? Like, nah, dude, this fucking whatever, right? And then I see the band on stage, and I'm like, that guy kind of looks like Ice-T, right? But you can't really tell. He has his hat all low, and he's wearing like a cutoff, and he's all in all black and shit. And then finally we get like to the edge of the crowd, and he's like, from henceforth, I'm no longer Ice motherfucking T. From this day forward, you should not call me. You shouldn't call me that name. From this day forward, you call me Ice motherfucking T, bitch, right? And then they went into a rift, and everybody, like, I'm on the outside, right? Because I'm still worried about COVID. Yeah. So I'm like double masked up, and I'm in all my Raiders gear and shit. And I just see like bodies just flying right from the outside. And I'm like, fuck, man, I wish I could have got in there, dude. But I told my work at the time, like, hey, I'm going to this music festival. I know things are kind of weird. I'm not going to try to be in the crowd. Only for when Metallica started playing, I was like in the middle of everybody, right? I was like, there's no way I'd get out.
Yeah. Body count's sick.
It was pretty, dude, body count. And after that, I just started listening to a shitload of their music, dude.
Yeah.
Besides some of their funny music videos. But, dude, yeah, body count's awesome. But yeah, so just seeing you with your little like flag, like your little bum flag or whatever, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what is that, right? I've never really seen like people do that, and now I see like, Dominic Mysterio like rocking like the whole like flap or whatever. If you watch wrestling, yeah, he has like a whole like flap in between his legs and stuff when he wrestles, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. But you seeing you in the background, like Michelangelo, like always, starts trying to do some sort of chant, and you're not mic'd up, but I see you in the background, and you're just like you're just going with it, and in my head I was just like, don't fucking, it was cool that you were into it, right? But nobody else was cheering other than like you and maybe like Rex. And don't tolerate this clown, dude. Don't give him the time of day. But yeah, man, it was really cool, like in the very beginning, how to see you like show up, and then to also finally meet you in person at one point or another. And then to have you come up to us and to straight up be like, I think you even messaged me in particular, right? You said, hey, can I run my own, like,
oh my God,
I run my own bracket at MADHouse? Sure. What do you want to run?
Straight bullshit.
You were like, let me run a bracket for Street Fighter the movie, and I'll bring my laptop, I'll bring my setup, and then I'll just do it on the side. Fuck it. Sure. Why not, dude? And that was like always my thing, right? Like, hey, we have this spot. Let's try to utilize it to the best of our ability to try to make something happen. Tell us a little bit about that experience and why, out of all the games that you chose that game.
I mean, like only 2 people showed up. That included me and I forgot his name, but someone else. And that was all who signed up. It was like, great. Okay, cool. I'll take it. That's like, to be fair, one more person than I was expecting to sign up besides myself. So I'll take a win. Why Street Fighter the movie? I'm not very good at fighting games, but I do love fighting games. And I love bad video games.
Yeah.
Like I think bad video games I don't think they get enough appreciation. I think bad video games are like, they can be a lot like bad movies where it's just like, yeah, no, this is garbage. but they can still be a lot of fun. And so Street Fighter the movie is kind of that for me. I mean, like Street Fighter the movie is already kind of insane. So making a game off of it is already also really insane and also really funny to me. And I also thought like, okay, this is like dumb enough where at least someone would be interested. So that was kind of my logic. Yeah.
But so you said you haven't been good at fighting games, but you've always been in love with fighting games.
Yes.
Or in love with games in general, haven't
Yes.
you? Yeah, like tell me about like your experience with Zelda and Kirby.
Zelda and Kirby. Okay. I love Kirby. That's like one of my earliest memories of really loving games was like Kirby, specifically Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland on the Game Boy Advance. I love that game so much. I didn't care about sports, but my dad would make me play soccer as a kid. So like what I would do is that I would go to these games and like I would sneak my Game Boy on the field and just play in the middle of the field. Like just sit down and start playing Kirby in the middle of this field. I didn't give a shit about the game. Yeah. And for Zelda, I mean like I got to Zelda a little later than that, like probably like when I was like 8. It's hard to say which one would probably be my favorite or the one I put the most time into.
Yeah.
I would say probably either Wind Waker or Majora's Mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
I obviously hear a lot of good things about Majora's Mask. Unfortunately, I've never played a Zelda game, so that's something where I've never really owned Nintendo products growing up.
That's fair.
Other than that Game Boy Advance, where all I did was play Doom on it. Another game I know you're very fond of.
I love Doom. Yeah.
When did you discover Doom?
Oh God. Also a little later. I remember. So like, for Doom, so like I had to be like 12. I got like the Doom 3 BFG edition on like the 360.
Yeah.
And I just started playing that quite a lot. Like I didn't even play Doom 3. Doom 3 is great, but like Doom 1 and 2 were just like I became so obsessed with. So like once I actually got like this little shitty ass laptop and I was actually able to play other mods for Doom, that took over my interest for video games for like at least a solid 2-3 years. And I still do love those games, specifically those two. I think the reboot's cool, but I still prefer 1 and 2. Like I'm ride or die for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you discover Quake around that same time as well?
Yeah. Quake is great too. I love Quake 1 the most because I just like the vibe. I can always appreciate a good vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell me more about that vibe. Like, what was it about, like the aesthetic of Quake, or tell me, like, I don't know, what is it about it?
I don't know shit about like Cthulhu or anything like that, but my point of reference for Cthulhu will always be Quake, just because that's always kind of like that's kind of the vibe. Very moody, very brown, and like with a very strong tinge of like horror.
Yeah,
which I also do love. I love horror. So yeah, Quake 1 and Quake 3 are definitely my favorites in that series. Everyone's favorites Quake 3, so like that's not really a surprise.
Yeah, I have played the new Quake games that are on Steam, like Quake Battlegrounds, I believe it is, or Quake Championship. Yeah. And where you can play like BJ Blazkowicz and like whatever. I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my only experience with Quake prior to that was Quake 4. And just playing like the story mode, and that was just very like weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Strogg is cool, but like I never really cared for the story. Although the one part I always remember about Quake 4 is the Stroggification, where like they kidnap you and then like turn into a Strogg. It's like body horror and kind of gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quake Champions was great though. I do wish that game got more love.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's funny enough, the reason why I got into like Quake Champions, and for a very, very short period, right, was there's a gentleman who does mouse reviews on YouTube. It's like Rocket Jump Ninja, I believe his name it is, right? And that's his game, right? He's like, these are the games that test mouses out like the most, stringently, where you need to have like a really good sensor, you got to have good click, you got to be a good player to first be able to take advantage of like having a really good mouse. But this is a game that gives you that same, like, you need to have a good tool to perform well, and this is like a game that you need to perform well.
Yeah, that's definitely Quake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. I mean, so going back all the way back to like Kirby and such, like what platform or console were you playing, a lot of these games on when you were like a lot younger? Right, walk me through the progression of like, hey, I was first started here, and then as I was growing up, I got this, and then this, and this. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so the first console I ever had was a GBA. I just had like Kirby and like this one Namco Museum collection. So it had like Galaga and like Dig Dug. I love Dig Dug actually. I did play a lot of that. And then I got a DS for Christmas. I don't remember what year, but I was still really young. And that DS came with a copy of Meet the Robinsons, which, okay, licensed movie, game, kind of whatever. But when I moved to El Salvador, my dad, he got us like one of them R4 cards from some guy, and he gave us, it had like a bunch of games on it. So that's how I played a lot of games. So like Super Mario 64, that was the first time I played Super Mario 64. Whatchamacallit, Call of Duty 4 had a DS port, and that was how I first played Call of Duty, which is really funny to me. Yeah. And then after that, I got an Xbox 360 for Christmas 2009. And I played a lot of, that's when I actually got to play Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
Honestly, my background after that just tended to be mostly shooters before I always loved fighting games, but like for the longest time, because I didn't really play with anybody, it was mostly just a lot of shooters I got to play.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty 4, Black Ops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like even like a lot of like my background as well, right? Where, Atlanta also, being very much into Counter-Strike, but like for me, it was, hey, lots of fighting games when I was very young and just button mashing.
Yeah.
And then just nothing but shooters after that. And then finally coming back to fighting games, right? Where I'm just like, damn, like, I don't know. Something about fighting games is very special. I mean, is there like a particular fighting game that you like really, really enjoy, right? Because I know you signed up for Street Fighter 2 at Genesis like a while back, right?
Yeah, I did. I did sign up for Street Fighter 2 in 2022.
Yeah.
I also did that. I forgot that I went to that. That was fun too. That was probably the first tournament I went to when I was like actually getting really into fighting games. Street Fighter 2 isn't my game of choice, but it was still like, I'll sign up. Why not? Like everyone knows Street Fighter 2. So like it's gonna have the most turnout. So that'll be fun. I know it won't go far, but it'll be fun. In terms of fighting games I love, obviously Third Strike. Third Strike, it came to me at a time when I was like very excited and very eager. So like I was just running that with friends on Discord for like the longest time.
Okay.
Before I actually got to like was interested in doing tournaments or like even like caring about like what the fuck a Daigo is, you know what I mean?
What year was this?
Oh god, like 2020 when everyone was just stuck in COVID.
Yeah.
Or 2019, probably 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing a lot of Third Strike, and it's funny too though because like I didn't get into Third Strike because I wanted to play the Third Strike. I got into Third Strike because I wanted to play Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Okay.
Yeah, because my sister had a PSP, and that also had a bunch of like bootlegged like games on it, and that included the PSP port of Alpha 3, and that's actually how I kind of got like my main in like every Street Fighter game she shows up in, Sakura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. Also, Alpha 3 is also up there for me. Outside of Street Fighter, I guess, it'd be kind of a crapshoot on like what's my favorite fighting game.
What is it that you like about Sakura, right? Like, do you like the character design? I know very little about this character other than that she's supposed to be like a schoolgirl or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like liking schoolgirls is always kind of a red flag in the sense, like, okay, I just know you're a gooner, but like, that's not the appeal to me for her. I just thought she was a cool character. like story wise.
Yeah, I was like, how old were you? Like, I don't know. I know you're on the younger side, right? That's why I always refer to you, Katsu, Ninja Blaze, like, you know.
Yeah, I'm 23.
Yeah.
When I was like in 2019, I was like 16, 17.
So you were basically like supposed to be the same age
Yeah,
as
the
Sakura
same age.
anyways, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I just liked her as a character. I kind of like the idea that like she's scrappy,
Yeah.
like doesn't know what she's doing. It's like, hey, that's me. Like I kind of relate to that. I like that. Just felt nice to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about that character, besides like I mentioned, I just know she's a schoolgirl and she has similar abilities to like Ryu or like Han or whatever, right? Like I don't know if she has the same master or whatever, but I did see the Street Fighter movie, and there was a part where she tries to do like this like windmill kick or something like that, right? And
Yeah.
like the thug just catches that shit.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at this shit like, bro, isn't this supposed to be a character in a fighting game? I was like, this chick is fucking weak, yo. And this is like me, like, you know, whatever, like 16, 17, like watching like Adult Swim or some shit like that,
Yeah.
right? Like just me being young and being like, oh, Street Fighter. Oh, yeah, cool. What the fuck is this, right? And then also didn't she get like possessed or something, right? And then like Zangief was about to fucking like, I don't know, right?
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, but I think she does beat Zangief in that movie if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's a Shoto,
Yeah.
so.
I just remember a lot of weirdness with that movie. I don't remember the Chun-Li shower scene, right? Maybe they cut that from the Toonami release or something. Or
Probably.
wherever I watched it, Sci-Fi Channel at the time. Right? Anna Mondays back in the day. Whatever. All right, cool. All right. But I mean, since you mentioned a lot of shooters, right? You said Call of Duty 4. What was your favorite shooter? Is there something in particular that you really loved or enjoyed?
About shooters in general or like Call of Duty 4?
Man, I don't know, because I know you talk about your love for Quake, which is again a high twitchy game. Your love for Doom, with Doom at 1 and 2, or which is like not necessarily that, right, in the same way, but it's similar but not the same. And then you mentioned Call of Duty, so I'm just like, okay, like what is there like a shooter where you'd be like, man, like if I had to if I had to be on a team or whatever, like an all-star team, I would want to be on this team. Which game would it be?
Oh God.
Is there a game that you were even particularly good at, or are you just like, I don't know? There's a difference, I guess, between like being good and enjoying it. So it's difficult to like.
I mean, I was pretty okay at like Quake. I remember I went to this convention. It was Mag West in
Yes.
San Jose, and I went and they had like a LAN party set up, and like I didn't realize how cracked I was at Quake 3. Granted, I mean, like these guys were older than me. I don't know when was the last time they played, but I was really good at Quake 3. I'm not very good at most games, honestly, but yeah. One of my homeboys, Jesse, I think I brought him up. I mentioned him prior to you, but he's like cracked at like every game he plays, because like especially if it's competitive, because like his motivation to getting good at games is just to touch everybody on the team.
Yeah.
Just like destroy them. He wants them to feel like they're not having fun in the game. That's like his appeal.
Yeah.
And so like I remember trying to, because he's really good at Mortal Kombat, because he spent a lot of time. Like I've seen him spend a lot of time. I've seen him do a lot of crazy shit. And I remember trying to get him to come to MADHouse. Like, dude, they're playing MKs. Like, I don't want to. It's just like, why? Because I just don't care about playing competitively for money. So it's like, yeah, but like you can like, I don't know, maybe you'll be good enough to win and like destroy everybody. It's just like,
Man, I really wish I met this guy at some point or another.
You would probably like him.
Yeah. I gotta make it happen, man. We gotta do something where we drive more people to be playing Mortal Kombat, like in this area. I just have no idea what I'm gonna do. But first and foremost, the game has to be good.
Yeah.
So we're not even there yet, unfortunately. Mortal Kombat 1 was quite the disappointment. And it sounds like they're full speed ahead with the next Mortal Kombat game, whatever the fuck they're gonna call it, Mortal Kombat -0 or some fucking shit, dude. I can't imagine like I don't know, man, what the fuck they're gonna call it. It's very upsetting, like where we're at, right?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat fans kind of hungry right now. They're starving.
It's bad. I mean, like Injustice as well, right? I think Injustice fans need like something, but I really don't know what NRS is gonna do. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath for anything. And even if it is like another Mortal Kombat game, like what are the chances like it's gonna be good? And that's like that's another terrible part of this. I really don't, dude. I'm so hot right now, dude. I know we turned the fan off and everything, but like I see you just sitting there in your ski mask, and I was like, "Are you gonna keep that on like the whole show?" And you're like, "Yeah, probably not." I'm just like, "Holy fuck." I could not do that. I thought about putting one on, and then like as we like started continue setting up, I was like, "Fuck this." It's pretty warm in here.
Yeah, I might take this off soon.
I mean, if I could, you want to do a face reveal for the camera, everybody? That's fucking.
It's not anything y'all haven't seen before.
Ooh.
Oh god. Oh yeah, that's a lot.
That's
That's a lot better. Jesus Christ.
Hey, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and show the audience your hat? Because
God.
I was here. I can pass it to you.
You want to take this real quick? Yeah. Hold up. Put this shit on. That's my hat. Yeah. A lot of random shit on it.
Dude, you have the whole aesthetic going. Like that's something I've noticed about you every single time. Like we hung out, or you came over for a barbecue, or I see you at MADHouse. It's like you're just adding more patches. You're adding more like studs and shit, or whatever you're buying is already covered in studs. And I'm just like, dude, what is going on, dude? Talk to me about the look. Talk to me about the aesthetic. I know you're into metal music, but is it just that, or like is it like talk to me about?
Yeah. So I'm definitely what you would call a music fan.
Yes.
Just a little bit. Obviously I lean towards I don't know what I would call it, the aesthetic, I guess, because it's kind of like a mishmash, but like definitely punk adjacent. So like there's a lot of punk music on my pants and jacket and hat, of course, but you know, I love Dead Kennedys, one of my favorite bands. Discharge is also great. I was talking to you about this one band called Dahmer.
Yeah, it's on the back of your hat.
It's on the
right?
back of my hat. It is named after the serial killer, but I also do love other stuff. I mean, I love MF Doom, which like he's on. I could show it if you want on the back of my jacket. I might also take this off too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Dr. Doom. MF Doom. I love MF Doom. I do have him right here as well.
Dude, it's all over the place, dude. You got it. As Gabby is taking her cameo.
Yeah.
Grandma's coming to pick the grandkids up, dude.
Yeah, I do love a lot of
So I'm waiting for them to walk over here and to just trip on these cables and just send everything flying, right? So whenever that happens, whenever my mom shows up, then we'll take the smoke break, dude. We'll fucking I remember saying that at the band hall one time because obviously, especially at the band hall in particular, there are a lot of people that smoke. A lot of the musicians smoke. So I remember they had like a what did they call it, right? Just basically like a big feast, and you pay, and they give, you know, basically the band makes money, and you get a plate of food, and it's just like a fundraiser basically. And I remember one time the band was all playing and stuff, and it was like, oh yeah, the set list is done. As soon as the song wrapped, everybody just dropped their shit and they just put it down right where they were standing, and everybody in a single file line, basically, they all just like swarmed out the side of the room. And I remember just being like, all the men, women, and children step outside for your 15-minute union smoke break. And everybody at the table was like a bunch of older like women. They just all turned around and like looked at me because I said it way too fucking loud. I was like, whoops, my bad.
A lot of death glares, I imagine.
Whatever, yeah, I don't know. I guess they didn't like the idea of me encouraging the children to all go out there and just fucking be smoking.
It's good for the children.
Yeah, dude. That's why I say, dude, smoking cardio, dude. You gotta expand the lungs.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of my I had a friend. His dad was a professional cyclist, and that was like his biggest thing. Where he was just like, yeah, my dad smokes weed because it makes him, ride his bike better or some shit. And I was like, is that legal? Is that fucking? I don't know, like. Whatever. It's
Is
not
he
my
smoking
business.
on the bike while he's riding, or just like before and after?
I think it was just an excuse just to get fucking high. Like I can't see any scenario where he's like, yeah, like I don't know, I have glaucoma or something. Like I need to be able to see the road.
I've seen so many people on bikes just like smoking, just like that's crazy.
Yeah. All right, but you said, I'm seeing like, obviously, I'm like reading your website right now, right? I see,
Oh God, you have that up too, shit,
dude. Dead Kennedys, dude. City Morgue, Wu-Tang Clan, MF Doom. I mean, talk to me. Like, what are some things that draw you to some of these artists right here?
Oh God, MF Doom. That's an easy one. I just love comic books. His obviously big Doctor Doom fan, but I also just love MF Doom's like production. I'm a sucker for a very good sample. Like I think sampling is like a very easy way to just get into more music. It's how I got into Sade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sade. I love Sade. I just love a good sample, a good beat to go with that sample. So I love a lot of like East Coast hip hop because they tend to be use a lot of samples. Not to say other genres don't, but like, a lot of good samples. Wu-Tang Clan, so many good samples, so many good beats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there any current artists that like are out like right now, right? Who are like modern, or I guess like, I don't know, people who are still touring who you're like, wow, like this is like some newer stuff, right? But like this is something I still really vibe with. Because I noticed a theme with a lot of these artists is a lot of them are older, on the older side.
Yeah, they always tend to be really old for me. I mean, like in terms of newer artists, I mean, like I'm very fond of Gorillaz.
Okay.
Yeah. Granted, I know they just came with a new album. I've not actually had a chance to hear it, so I heard good things. But I do love Gorillaz.
Yeah.
I do like A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you and I had a conversation about Tyler the Creator in the past?
We probably have. Tyler the Creator can never go wrong.
Yeah.
I know. I love. I know people always shit on Goblin, which like kind of fair, but like it still has a soft spot for me.
I fucking love Goblin, dude. I love Wolf. I love like all those old ones where he's like, you know what? I grew out of it. I'm not so edgy or like, I'm not tripping out anymore. I'm like, nah, that's fucking still me today, dude. I'm still immature as fuck, and I don't know. I love those earlier albums. Not so much Bastard. Like, there are some songs in Bastard that I absolutely love, but it's like I'm not like rocking the entire album front to back like I was like in high school. Like,
that's fair. Yeah, I know a lot of people also are kind of like mixed on that album, but I do have a soft spot for Cherry Bomb.
Cherry Bomb, there are some songs that I really, really love, and there are some songs that have like grown on me even more hardcore than when it first came out.
That's fair.
But yes, Cherry Bomb, it's not for everybody.
Yeah. I used to be in the City Morgue, not so much no more. I kind of grew out of that, honestly. But who else? I love Chief Keef.
Actually,
I love Chief Keef. You have no clue.
I feel like we've talked about this
I
at some point.
fucking love Chief Keef.
Well, what is it about Chief Keef?
Chief Keef is like foundational to modern trap hip hop music. Foundational. I'll say that right now. Foundational, right? It's also just like really catchy and like kind of hype. It's really good hype music.
I would agree with you. I went to Rock the Bells, I think in 2013, when he was slated, because I wanted to go see Tyler the Creator and I wanted to go see Earl perform. And funny enough, I went to go. This was back when like Hobson, like they were kind of beefing with Hobson, and like Hobson went up right before them, right? And I just remember my brother wanting to go. He's like, I'm going to Rock the Bells too. Chief Keef is gonna be there, only for Chief Keef to get like or he canceled his set or whatever, and everybody was like, "This is fucking bullshit." I came here exclusively for Chief Keef.
So, I have attempted to go see Chief Keef twice, and he didn't show up both times. One time it was with Suicide Boys and Turnstile and like Shakewell. Shakewell's actually pretty good too. And like he like I think like the week prior he just dropped out the concerts. Like, great, okay, I'm still gonna go because I bought the ticket. I went with my sister, and then he didn't show up. Then I went to fucking LA, right, with my homeboy Jesse. We stayed a weekend in LA. Great week. That was the one of the best weekends I ever had in my life. Got high as hell. We saw Kid Cudi and we fucking cried. Well, I cried. I don't know about them, but I felt emotional. Anyway, Chief Keef, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go see ASAP Rocky. Just like, that'd be great. I would love to see ASAP Rocky. I think it was ASAP Ferg. I don't remember, but it was just like I need to see Chief Keef. Like, I need to see him. And so I wait for like an entire hour. They put his logo on the stage. And I just start chanting Chief Keef, Chief Keef. I start singing Love Sosa, Kobe, and other people start joining. We stay there for like an hour. He doesn't show up. He just didn't show up for his set. I was so upset. I could have saw ASAP. That would have been great.
I'll keep it real. I fucking hate waiting for artists, dude. I felt like okay, so. Okay, this is gonna sound like I saw when Wolf came out, I saw Tyler like 3 or 5 times.
Damn.
Like, I went to like the Odd Future album tour when he was at the Warfield in San Francisco. Then I went to go see like, fucking Tyler at Ace of Spades. I think Ace of Spades is Oakland, right?
I think that's either Oakland or Sacramento.
Sacramento, no. So it was Ace of Spades, right? Because there's another spot in Oakland I saw Mellow High.
Which one was New Parish?
New Parish. Yeah, there you go.
That's a good venue.
Dude, I remember. No, that was fucking awesome, dude, because like they had some dude there and he was like DJing and everybody's like vibing. And then he cuts to Drake. And I forget what Drake song it was. It was like 2015, 2016 or whatever. But everyone went 2014 maybe. Everybody like it was like some song that was like everywhere for Drake, and everybody immediately just went boo. Right? Like it was like so, dude. It was so like quick and so unison, like unanimous that this dude straight up went like he went there like he was like way up there right behind the table and shit, and he literally like shuddered all the way back and was like, fuck, all right, never mind. I guess we're not playing no fucking Drake, dude. And I just like, it's funny to hear that like now things have come like not full circle, right? But clearly there were people like even back then were like
already hating fucking Drake.
And I was kind of in that crowd. I was like, fuck this motherfucker, right? Like this motherfucker's soft, right? Like, why are we all giving this guy credit, dude, for fucking beating like Meek Mill? Dude, fuck that motherfucker too. Like, I was like, this is stupid.
I had to be like 13 when that beef dropped. Oh God.
Yeah, I was like, this is fucking dumb, right? But then he started coming out with funny shit, and I was like, okay, he's aware that he's not like the fucking whatever, right? So I don't know. To see him getting bodied by Kendrick is fucking awesome to me.
Yeah, no, that was. I remember the moments I knew Drake lost that whole rap battle beef thing was I went to there's a festival in Stanford that they have called Blackfest. They host it every year. I have a funny story about that I could tell you afterwards. But they literally had that festival the same day, Not Like Us dropped, and like they were already playing it as like on the DJ says like, okay, yeah, no, they're already chanting this. They know this by heart. Like he's done.
Fucking cooked alive, dude. I fucking
like not even a full 24 hours.
I absolutely loved that. Hey, Mom. We're here shooting a podcast.
Hello.
No, you're not interrupting or anything like that. It's just. All right, we are back from a little break. We had to use the little boys' room. Plus, I had to help out my mom. And a bunch of kids are making all this noise and racket behind us. But hey, we are back. Where we were, just a moment ago, is we were talking about the festival at Stanford, right? And that you had a very funny story. So talk to me. What happened at this festival? And remind us, what was the name of the festival again?
Blackfest.
Why is it called Blackfest?
It's hosted by the Black Student Union.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's open to everybody. So like, I live near Stanford, so like, I love a free concert. They bring out like pretty big names too. Like last year, this is the story. They brought out Vince Staples.
I love Vince Staples.
Vince Staples, great. Shout out Sophie's production on his album, Big Fish Theory. But so I was really into it. I showed up in my standard garb,
Yeah.
including the cop killer bum flap, and I got really hype. And I had I held that shit up when he was singing North.
Yeah.
And like I was screaming that shit, and he sees me in the crowd. He's like, "You see that Bam Bam Bigelow looking motherfucker over there?" He's like, "Are you serious about that?" I was like, "Yes." It's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yes." It's like, "All right, cool."
I thought he was gonna be like, "Cops, get him." All right, cool. I seen Vince Staples live when he performed with Earl at Catalyst.
Oh, sick!
In Santa Cruz. That was fucking sick.
That's
dude.
a nice venue.
That was Did you ever hear on the podcast where I told that story about I headbutted somebody and knocked them unconscious?
I don't think I heard it on the podcast, but I think you told me this.
I probably told you this, right?
Yeah,
that was that show.
Really? Okay.
I fucking lit somebody the fuck up, dude. And I remember it was like Earl was out there, and it was such a good fucking show. Dude, that fucking show. I remember that was the first time I ever heard Kanye, Father Stretch My Arms Part 2 or whatever, right? And Vince Staples did this a cappella bit where he just started fucking rapping and stuff, and they just dropped the music out, and he just started going faster and faster and faster, and I was just like, this is fucking sick, dude. I know I've heard Vince in a couple of Earl's songs like in the past and such, but it's really cool to see like a lot of these cats from Odd Future like come up and like to hear like Casey Veggies and like a lot of the original like Odd Future songs, and then to see like where he's at and like Frank Ocean and then like all these cats. It's fucking, I love it, dude. And that's like the kind of things that I want for like MADHouse and like all the people that are involved in MADHouse, like someone like yourself, right? Where you were involved in like so many different like hobbies, like in the very beginning, right?
I still kind of am.
Like you were trying to go to like film school for a little bit. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was doing film school up at Foothill for a little bit. I even did like that little documentary about MADHouse. That was actually pretty cool. I still do like filming things.
Yeah.
Like I did film something in my room, and I am kind of low-key working on a video actually about like Manhunt, which is a game I fucking love.
Yeah.
But I kind of figured probably better if I just keep this as a hobby rather than like a job, especially since like I feel like if I do want to profit off of it, I mean like I can at least profit off the skills, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Maybe not specifically as like a job kind of thing.
Yeah, because you still enjoy it. You don't want to be in a position where you possibly don't enjoy it.
Yeah,
dude, that's why I was like very happy with MADHouse. How MADHouse scratches so many itches that I have. Where I was like, I used to do video editing in middle school, but I have no reason to video edit anymore. Or I used to play fighting games, like when I was bodybuilding, but like I only play fighting games like sparingly now, right? Or I used to do this, I used to do that. I used to buy a lot of technology because I like streaming, but I never streamed because I was always scared. I was like, I don't want it. It needs to be perfect. If it's not perfect, only for me to like realize like even if it was perfect, no one's gonna be watching your fucking stream, right? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't actually matter. Like the quality does matter, right? It's a certain threshold, but it's more about you than anything else, right? So,
I mean, that's kind of why that's kind of the attitude I have towards a lot of movies. Like, yeah, no, quality might not reach it, but like, it got the vibe, it got the heart, and it's kind of like a lot of like weird fucking movies.
Yeah.
My friends always call it bullshit ass taste.
Go on, explain that.
Because it's always just like the dumbest shit ever. Like one of my favorite. I'm not even gonna say it's a good movie. It's just one of my favorite movies. Freddy Got Fingered.
I'm not familiar. Why don't you go ahead and explain that for the rest of the class?
You might want to censor it, but it's a movie from Tom Green, who's like a comedian up in Canada. Grant, and like he got basically like $4 million from like WB, or some other product like studio, and was just like, yeah, no, just go crazy. So he basically just wasted all their money just making the dumbest movie possible. It's not good, but I love it so much.
I am very much in the belief that a movie doesn't have to be quote unquote good for you to enjoy it.
Exactly. Yeah.
There are other aspects of certain movies that you could like really appreciate. I mean, like my favorite movie of all time is Predator, and it's nowhere near the same level of like cinematic like masterhood that is, you know, Blade Runner 2077 or Whiplash for that matter. But it's still a better movie in my eyes for all the things that it represents at that point in time when it was made.
That's how I feel about RoboCop. RoboCop's my favorite movie.
I was gonna bring that up at some point or another, right? Because I was like, I know you love '80s movies like me, dude.
Yeah.
Tell me about RoboCop, dude. Where does that love come from?
I first watched RoboCop when I was like a little kid, way too young to be watching it, and there's like a lot of themes and like little like story moments that I didn't catch as a kid because, you know, kids are kind of dumb. But when I started getting older and started really into movies like cinema and all that kind of stuff, like RoboCop kind of just touched a bunch of like check marks for me. So like it's dramatic. Like Murphy's story is really good in that movie. His dying, becoming a robot, and then figuring out his humanity. Like it's on concept. It's a really dumb movie, but it works so well. There's a lot of humor in it. Like all the commercials. Like the very dark humor they have and like the funny dialogue. The satire is really good. So it just checks a bunch of check marks for me that just like I can appreciate this on so many different levels.
Do you think, I mean, okay, so now naturally I want to ask, what did you think of the newest one?
It was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of the themes that like RoboCop did in the original movie it was very intentional and very well thought out, but I felt like the reboot or remake, whatever you want to call it, it had a lot of that, but it didn't really think about why. It just like their first one had it, like the originals had it, like okay, let's just put it in there and just like. Also, it's not bloody. It's not gory. Like, it doesn't have a guy like having his hand blown off or like his head shot off. It's not as fun.
I do agree. Yeah. So there was a video essay that I watched not too long ago that explained how the absurdity of the first one also lended to the nature that like this is also a critique piece on like a lot of different aspects of like culture at that point in time and corporations and all the different bullshit that was going on, and how the newest one doesn't necessarily give that any sort of justice whatsoever. Right. It takes a lot of the wind out of a lot of those sails. So
yeah.
While I haven't seen the newest one, I already had a very strong feeling that was going to happen. As much as I love the lead actor, I forget this gentleman's name, right? But I see him in Ultra Carbon, and I see him in House of Cards, and I see a bunch of other shit.
It has a really good cast. Like it has Michael Keaton. I think Gary Oldman's in there.
Samuel Jackson. Like it has a really good cast. And it's just like, damn, if only it was like a better movie. Yeah, and I heard a lot of reasons why that was the case, right? I mean, so you loved the first RoboCop. What did you think of its sequels, though?
I do like the sequel, not as much as the first one, but I do enjoy it. I do think it also brings in a lot of like interesting ideas. I think the scene that always kind of like that's always kind of sad is like the part where like his ex-wife comes in and they're like, you're OCP property. And like she has no relation to you now. Like, just stop stalking her. That's always kind of heartbreaking. Yeah. I was just think like Kane's like his design is really cool.
Yeah.
He used to scare me as a child. Like specifically the part where like he dies, and so they put him in RoboCop 2, and it shows like his eyeballs and brain and like his spinal cord. That shit scared me so much as a child.
Yeah. I always had a weird affinity for RoboCop, but not because I love the movies, right? Like the part in the movie I loved in particular was the toxic sludge.
Oh yeah,
and then the dude getting driven in. As a kid, I was like, "Is that fucking possible? How did they?" Because in my head, I was like, "They had to do that for real. There's no way
they killed that guy.
There's no way that didn't look fake. They really fucking poured toxic sludge on me and killed him. That's crazy. I legit, but." So you're saying you're talking about your family going back to El Salvador and such, and you moving back and such. I remember visiting like Mexico a lot as a kid. Cabo San Lucas, like going like vacationing, right? Like not necessarily visiting my family until like much later in my life, but always going on vacation in Cabo San Lucas, and we would find these arcades, right? And my parents knew that I love video games, so they would make it a point to go out of their way to find arcades. But I remember there was this one game. It looked like RoboCop. I know it wasn't RoboCop. It's a arm wrestling arcade game. And at the time, right, my dad was still like very much strong, like, when he was younger, even though he had us. So by the time I was like 7 or 8, he was probably still benching like well over 300 pounds or whatever.
Damn.
Yeah, my dad was like, yeah, Dakota. He told me some crazy. He's like, Dakota, when you were conceived, I was benching like 340, so you're gonna be strong. And I was like, that's not how that fucking works, dude. But whatever, right? So my dad was always generally like a pretty strong guy. So he gets up to the fucking machine, and he just goes up like basically the Mortal Kombat ladder of like arm wrestling. And it looks like it's like a robot arm or whatever. And I think he fucking snapped it. Even at like, it's like he snapped the motor at like its highest level. And that was like always a big thing. And it's funny because he snapped it in the fucking machine. Like even the machine, like in the CRT, it shows like the arm going like, he's like, the robot's grabbing at his arm and shit. And I just remember being as a kid like, dude, that's my only goal. I want to be so fucking strong that I just snap RoboCop's arm straight out of his fucking elbow socket, dude. Just like, so when I would watch RoboCop, that was like always the thing in the back of my head. I was like, I'm gonna fucking break his arm, dude. Kill RoboCop. I'm gonna kill fucking Murphy, dude. Yeah. And just turn around to the crowd like, fucking name.
RoboCop's great.
But there's also like, so you talked about horror movies and such in the past, right? I know you after the whole movie making thing, you started going into graphic design and such, right? And one of the first shirts you made was Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh God, yeah.
Talk to me about that. Talk to me about the what do you call it? The graphic design, and then like, how did you I need to make this shirt? Talk to me.
I've always had like, okay, so at least for graphic design, I mostly just got into that because I just want to make shit that I want to wear, because like I have very niche interests, and it's always not really easy to find shirts for or like patches for. So it's just like I want that. So it just came out of like me wanting to have things that I want. So like it just kind of started from there. And so that's why I made the Cannibal Holocaust shirt. I wanted a shirt of, if you don't know what Cannibal Holocaust is, if I have to explain it, it's an Italian movie from, I want to say 75. It's from the 70s. It's basically like these jungle explorers go to the jungle. They meet a bunch of natives, and a lot of fucked up shit happens. People thought it was like an actual snuff film, and so like it's one of the most controversial movies. I wouldn't say I love that movie, but I always found it really interesting. So I always had like a deep appreciation for it.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted a shirt. I just wanted a shirt of the girl on a spike.
Yeah, I think it's always cool when people are legitimately like, they see something on film and they're like, "Is this real?" Like, there's no way. Like what's that movie? The found footage movie.
Which one?
Blair Witch.
Oh, Blair Witch.
When they're like, no, all the people from Blair Witch are fucking dead. And then they're like, no, they're actors. They're right here, right? But I think there was something in their contract, too, that they can't make any public appearances for a couple months.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny we talk about that because you ever heard of Faces of Death?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I'm going to watch the reboot tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I got like a free screening ticket for that, so I'm going to watch that tomorrow.
Where?
In SF.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. I'm also, I feel the same way towards like Faces of Death as like I do with Hannah. I think I like, it's kind of one of those really morbid things. But I always found it really interesting as a topic. Like people like really like snuff films. This is real. Cause like you said, it kind of tickles like, not to get like super serious or like dark, but like everyone's super interested in death. That's why like people love Live Leak or like all that. But like, and no one wants to admit it, but it is like something that like affects everybody. So I think everybody's interested in it. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, everybody, it is a inevitability that we are all going to have to face at one point or another. Most of us, if not all of us, I would say most, right? Because I don't put myself in that category,
That's
right?
fair.
But most of us would like to go out in a way where they're like very painless and surrounded by the ones you loved, as compared to just dying violently in battle, right? And then there's the opposite of that, where it's like, no, I work at a factory and I just got sucked into this machine because I wasn't paying attention that my hair wasn't in a ponytail or something of that nature, right? Like something horrible.
I want to blow up. That's the way I want to go out, like in a fiery blaze. It'd be cool.
I mean, well, you're packing the right gear to do so. Why don't you go ahead and why don't you show the rest of the class, right? Oh. Not only what the fuck is on your shirt, because I'm realizing now, but I was like, what the fuck is that? But also the bag that you have brought, with your, what it. Yeah, dude, I was like, I didn't even see the butt plug until just now. What the, holy shit.
I worn this shirt before. Michelangelo saw me wear this shirt before. He was like, "What the fuck are you wearing?" Yeah. This is a bag I own.
Yeah, you showed me this in the car on the way over here. Okay, because here's the reason why. Like, when you first got in the car, or when you first showed me the bag, and then I saw the sunglasses you were wearing, this shit is coming down. You're going to knock... Oh, wow. Impressive. You didn't knock that shit down. That is a fucking bag with a pocket. Holy... Is this supposed to be like Counter-Strike? What is this like?
I think it's supposed to be the one that looks like from Counter-Strike, but... Yeah, no, it's a little bomb. Don't wear this to airports. Shout out Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, so when I saw like the little bomb thing or whatever, it reminded me of Counter-Strike. And then when you put the glasses on, it reminded me of that cutscene from Call of Duty 4 or whatever, right? With the dude in the back of the car and then that dude with the beret or whatever. I was like, damn, dude, this motherfucker is being serious today, dude. This guy's going all fucking in. But yeah, dude. I mean, it seems like you're very expressive throughout your like clothing and a lot of the different things that like you're into. Specifically through your like fashion and such. Like, have you thought about like, I don't know, following that passion and thinking about doing like more fashion stuff? Do you think that like there might be people that are into like the same things you're into?
I have thought about it. I mean, like I have like sold patches or like traded patches or like made clothings for friends before.
Yeah.
Like this hat was supposed to be a gift for someone, and I was like, "Nah, this is too cool. I want this for myself."
That's sick. Just getting the text message, "Hey, where's my hat?" and then hit him back, "Fuck you."
Yeah, basically. So yeah, I just kept it. I mean, but yeah, I have made clothing for friends and family before, but selling it, I mean, like it would be cool. It is something I would be interested in doing. Excuse me. Like it's kind of why I got a screen printer. Like I made a couple patches off of that, which I can show actually one of them. Somewhere here probably. Right here, yeah. This one. Ugh.
Is that the pig from Manhunt?
Yes, Pigsy's greatest hits. I'm a big Manhunt fan. I'm really into that game. That was actually the first one I actually screen printed. I have other screens that I want to print. I just haven't, but yeah. Most of the things I've done, honestly, have been stencils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Manhunt, I know the cover of the game shows the character wearing a mask, but like, does he ever wear a mask in the game?
It's so the main character doesn't. I actually have the sweater of that exact cover.
Yeah. Yeah, like is that what the fuck is that supposed to be?
So this is a in the game. There's like different gangs.
Yeah.
This is I think supposed to be one of the skins, which is like a skinhead gang.
Okay.
He's wearing the Jason mask, kind of little hockey mask, legally distinct.
Okay, a hockey mask. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to ask you about that, because I was like, how come I see the hockey mask on the cover? I see the gameplay. The guy never wears a hockey mask. And I'm noticing there's like a big theme of like, hey, you like a lot of like horror movies. I see you're probably a fan of Friday the 13th. And then like other games like Splatterhouse and such, right?
I love
like
Splatterhouse. Yeah.
Talk to me about Splatterhouse. What's the deal? And also on top of that, I saw you wear a Friday the 13th mask when you were doing mud wrestling. So,
oh shit, yeah.
So talk to me. What's up with the mask, dude? Is there something you like about that mask aesthetic, and is that why you keep getting drawn to media like that?
I just really like horror slasher movies. Ironically, Friday the 13th isn't my favorite. It would probably be it'd probably be either Halloween or Texas Chainsaw. But I do like Jason. Jason's iconic. You can't really like shit on him. Yeah. I just really like horror movies. I mean, very schlocky, very spooky. For Splatterhouse, I mean, like it's like everything I'd like, honestly. Just like very, very campy, very gory. You know, I kind of like that. It's fun. You know, people. It's fun. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like it's very endearing. It's like, yeah. For that costume. So it was a Jason mask, like an officially licensed one. I went mud wrestling at like a show. It was at a punk show.
Oh, I'm gonna need an expanded version of this because you told me you're like, hey Dakota, I'm gonna be mud wrestling. And I just remember saying to you, like the only thing I thought was like Olivia Munn like slipping and like popping her shoulder out or something, like doing like fucking like KY jelly wrestling. I think it was Olivia Munn, and I just remember thinking to myself like, damn. Percival's gonna fuck up his shoulder tonight, dude. He's gonna slip it and go face first into the mud. I hope he's gonna be okay. That's why I was like, all right, good luck, stay safe, right? But give me an expanded version of that. How did that even fucking happen?
So that event was a Halloween event it was a local punk show in SF. We're at the bands that were playing. I think one of them was called I want to say one of them was Surprise Privilege, local band in SF. Very funny. Very chill people. But they announced like, hey, we're doing mud wrestling. It's like you have to be over 18 and costumes encouraged. So I was like, fuck it. I got these overalls and I got a Jason mask. I was kind of ironically going for a character from Manhunt, but everyone's calls it Jason. To be fair, he also wears overalls, so it's like it works.
Yeah.
So it was a Jason mask and I had another mask I wore for the actual mud wrestling thing because I didn't want to break that mask just in case I broke it.
Yeah.
It was the mask. It was another mask from Manhunt. It always comes back to Manhunt, I swear. Yeah, I mud wrestled this guy dressed up as, I want to say, a vampire. So it's just Jason looking motherfucker and a vampire mud wrestling. And someone just took photos. And the best part, it was all underneath a highway overpass.
Yeah, I was wondering about the location of this once I started seeing the pictures and shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude? I know you told me about this beforehand, but I was like, what the fuck did you get yourself into? Like, so.
Yeah, I lost that match. It was funny too, because my homeboy Jesse, he isn't really into the same music I am into. So like he had no interest in the music. And so he was just he just took me there as a favor. And like afterwards he was just like, yeah, if you ever invite me to one of these things, no, I'm never going.
What was he upset about? What the fuck?
He just didn't care for it. He just thought it was some bullshit, which I sent him photos of like and videos of like mosh pits whenever I go to some show, and he's just like, monkeys. These are all just monkeys. He doesn't get it. I can't. I mean, it's his own taste, but it's just like, okay.
Okay, so like I enjoy surrounding myself with like real intelligent people, mm-hmm. right? There are a lot of cases where you do find someone that's real intelligent and they're just too logical, right? And I know nothing about your friend's intelligence level, but I know there are people when like I'm very much guilty of this, where I will do something stupid just fucking cuz, right? Just because I want to just waste everybody's time, or like, you know, just I want to test everyone's patience around me and just see how much I can get away with at any given point in time, just because I'm fucking bored, right? Like it has no malice in it. I'm just like, I need something to happen and I'm going to make something happen. Your friend sounds like he might be in that category, or it might be in the other category where he's just too logical and then also not intelligent, right? But I know nothing about him, so
Jesse is a very smart man. He's my ride or die homie. He's very smart and he is a very logical person. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. With that being said, I do love. That's why me and Atlanta have such a great relationship, because Atlanta, very smart guy, also pretty much acts like a dumbass 24/7, right? So those are the people I'm very much. Those are my favorite people, right? People who understand the nonsense and either roll with the punches or continue to make things worse with me. I don't know, man. So you mentioned Jason in like overalls and such, right? Like he was in overalls in like one of those like older like Friday the 13th games, right? With the purple. It was like blue and purple.
That's the jumpsuit. Yeah, that's the jumpsuit from the NES game.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the second movie he's wearing overalls. It's like before he got the hockey mask, he was wearing overalls, potato sack.
That's right. And then in Jason 3D, that's when he finally gets the mask.
Yeah, Jason 3. That's when he finally gets the iconic mask. Yeah. NES Jason. I actually quite like the NES Friday the 13th game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the one that's like blue and purple, right?
Yeah, it's the blue and purple one. People shit on that game. I kind of like it. I like the music. It's really good.
That's good. I almost bought a shirt for the last King's Cup that was like with that aesthetic. It was like blue and purple.
Hell yeah.
And I just did not buy it. I was so fucking broke, dude. The bank account's always negative, dude. So it's just like, it's not happening.
Perpetually broke.
Perpetually broke, dude. That's MADHouse for you.
Yeah.
Right? But with that in mind, was there ever a Friday 13th on the Sega Saturn?
Like game?
Yeah.
No.
Because I know you're a very big fan of the Sega Saturn.
I love the Sega Saturn.
Talk to me about that.
I think it's a very underrated console. It's very like, I mean, like it. The reason I got the Sega Saturn is actually so I own one, and the only reason I got it is actually kind of really dumb. Mm-hmm. This is really embarrassing. I was kind of going through like a breakup.
Yeah.
And like the last time I saw my ex was at a pachinko show, which is like some shoegaze band from like the 90s. And they have a sample of a Sega Saturn game. And I recognized the sample because they played the entire sample at the show, not on the song. And I was just like, I know that game. And so I was already into the Sega Saturn. It was already something I was already interested in, just because like it's one of those, for the longest time, it was one of those consoles that like you can't really emulate. You can, but it's just like most games kind of run like doo-doo. So it was always something I wanted to get physically. But the two major things about it was that all the games in America for the Sega Saturn, stupid expensive. They're all like, because like no one bought one. And if you want to get any of the good games, the best chance is to get them from Japan. But since they're all in Japanese, it's a little hard. But they're always super cheap. So I ended up getting a Sega Saturn because of that whole thing. And I actually owned that game physically. It's Burning Rangers. The Japanese version, because the American version is like 1,000, and I got that for like 50. But yeah, the Sega Saturn, one of my favorite consoles. I did fix it. It was the CD drive was broken, so I tried fixing that. It didn't work still, so I was like, "Fuck it, let's just like put a Fenrir, which is like an SD. It's like an ODE optical disc emulator, so it like runs everything on like an SD card."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I going through your website and seeing you like basically trying to put together or try to fix it and talk about all the different struggles that you're having with it, and then how you got your stance on emulation. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear that I like a lot of older media.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, as I got older, it was just like, I want to play this thing, but like if I want to play it like legit, it's like very difficult because like these are very expensive or like very outdated hardware. So, being like 13, 14, I want to play, I don't know, Super Mario, whatever. I can't buy it, so I have to emulate it. And so it just kind of grew into this thing of like, I feel very strongly about and greatly appreciative, especially since like arguably emulation is why we're here. Like,
explain that further, please.
Because like like we all love fighting games. We love a lot of fighting games. I mean, like I love Third Strike, Darkstalkers, Killer Instinct. You know, what's the best way to play a lot of those games? It's still emulation, unfortunately. It's not like even I don't even just mean like official releases. I just mean like Fightcade. Like Fightcade held me down so long during COVID, or just like to play with people. It's a real lifesaver in terms of just like keeping games alive. And it's always very sad to me whenever, like, even with games I don't care about, I don't want games to like die just because like reasons that like it's not out of no interest, just because you just can't, like, you can't buy the hardware, you can't use the hardware, you can't whatever, you know. So I always felt very strongly about that. It's kind of why I'm really interested in like preservation, not even just for video games, just like movies, TV shows, music.
Is there like, are you doing any sort of active preservation in terms of like, hey, I really want to keep like physical copies of like this or that, or you do keep physical media?
I do keep a lot of physical media. I do, of games I love, I try to keep like a physical copy of them in some way or form. Obviously it gets a little difficult with like more sought after games. But I do try to. I do know people who have an active presence in that way, in like keeping games alive in some way, shape, or form. There's this Discord I'm in. Do you know Twisted Metal?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so I'm in this Discord of Twisted Metal fans that have the online servers up. Yeah, they keep the original for Twisted Metal Black on the PS2. They have the original servers running, and they do games. I don't ever play. They always give me shit for never playing, and they give me shit for other reasons. But they always give me shit for never playing. I have played matches in my defense with them. I'm not good, but the fact that they keep that game alive, a game that lost support like, I don't know, 2007 on the PS2, is insane to me, and I always appreciate that. There's also another guy in that server who is really knowledgeable about like development. Like he owns PS2 dev kits and other dev kits, so like he's a really cool for that, really cool resource, really cool guy. He gave me the ISO for Manhunt's prototype before it like released into the wild, so that was really cool as well. Yeah, so like I always appreciate people who keep media alive in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Yeah.
You keep bringing up Manhunt. Like, this is like, I feel like all roads lead back to Manhunt in one way, shape, or form. Why do you love Manhunt so much, dude?
I think, oh God.
And hold on, and before you go off and you say exactly why, go ahead and give the class, for the people that don't know, give your synopsis of what Manhunt is, and then lead into like what makes that special for you.
Manhunt is a horror game made by Rockstar in 2003 about this death row inmate who has his death faked, his execution faked by this one guy who is a snuff film director. So he forces him to be in snuff films and kill a bunch of people. And like, yeah, it's like, the reason why I love that game so much, it just comes back to horror movies again. It's like very much like you play the game, and like if you're really into horror movies, you just see like a bunch of different shit about like like relating to horror movies in general. So like obviously a lot of different references to different horror movies. Jason, Leatherface, the Crimson Ghost, which is like the logo for the Misfits, which is just like kind of funny to me. And like it's also just like you play it, and it's very clearly like an ode to like old horror movie culture around like, we're coming back to it, I guess, snuff films, because like it was a very prominent myth specifically around like that being real or not. And like it makes sense, especially since like the people who made the game are like all British, and there was a whole controversy about that in Britain called Video Nasties, about like very controversial gory horror movies, and it's very much deeply entrenched in that whole kind of vibe. And so like I appreciate that very dearly. I love creators who can like, they understand a specific era of movies and they are ride or die for it. That's kind of why I love like a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies, or like just like anything, like any director like that, or like any movie, any game. They just like, this is a very specific era of like cinema or TV shows or music, and I'm gonna like ride or die for it, and I love that.
Yeah. I know when it's in particular when it comes to snuff films, it's like back in the early like 2000s and such. It had to be very much like a live leak. It had to be like, I don't know. It was a lot of that stuff was very much like it was funny. Like my brother, you know those memes where they'd be like, "Hey, your friends in 5th grade on a random overcast morning as you watch like some fucking cartel video or whatever."
Yeah.
That was my brother. That was for
Jesus
sure.
Christ.
And I was very hardcore. Like, no, this is bad. You know, like what would mom say about this, or you know, like just thinking of like me being very religious and stuff. Versus now where it's like I'm definitely like that fucking like, yo, you see this on Twitter, dude? Dude, these people have no self-preservation.
Jesus, yeah. I mean, like it's one of those things where I'm not like upset whenever I see that kind of stuff, but it's definitely one of those things where I don't want to see it, but like it is clearly something that I am interested in terms of like movies and TV shows as a topic. I think it's a very scary carnal thing to me. So I'm kind of interested in that as like a movie or a game, clearly.
I think it definitely, when you put it in media format, right? If it's a TV show, it's, you know, whatever. It definitely helps you explore those ideas of your morality and everything like that in a more digestible way as compared to, I don't know, just watching it on Twitter nonstop and becoming absolutely desensitized to the horrors of the world, right? Where you're not really doing yourself much good. I've always said, right, that it's like, while I don't go out of my way to go watch people suffer, right, or I don't go out of my way to watch people get hurt, because at the end of the day, I really don't want to see like random people suffer for no reason, right, that they didn't like, you know, they didn't deserve. I do have this thing, right, where I believe, especially in America, and especially something that I experience, you know, that I experienced in high school, was just having that very like main character syndrome, or having this like this bubble, this invincibility bubble, where I was like, dude, there's nothing I can do is gonna hurt, or nothing I can do is gonna like affect me, or anything like that, right? Only to see like something where someone in some other country is literally just sitting down enjoying a meal, and then a flaming tire comes out of nowhere, right? And that's just their life is now either altered and changed forever, or their life is over, right? And you got to appreciate that, you know. Yeah, maybe we live in America and something like that doesn't happen as often. It still most certainly can happen, right? And you got to appreciate the life that you have and how quickly things can change and how quickly it can be taken away from you, right? And it's a weird way to like try to ground myself. Again, it's something more that I have to stumble upon rather than I have to seek. But it's, I don't know. It's very much still an exploration, just in the same way that you're doing.
I also just think like as Latinos in general have like a very interesting view on death, comparatively.
Explain that.
Because like when my grandfather passed away, it was like a very, you know, Americans here, traditional funeral was just like casket, maybe open casket, go to church, bury him, and then like that's kind of it. You mourn, and then go home. But like the first time I had like a very traditional like Catholic funeral was when my grandfather passed away, and I had to go to El Salvador. Basically immediately, they had his casket covered in flowers. It was actually very nice, very pretty. And so like they had to bury his body right afterwards. We brought him to the cemetery. The cemeteries over there are like very cramped. And so like we were crowding around him. We put him in this tomb, and then afterwards, it's like 9 days of like mourning. So everyone around the town, the village, or whatever you want to call it, would come to my grandma's house, do prayers for like a couple hours, and then like have dinner with my grandma. And it was very different from any American funeral I had here. So it was something that I did actually. I'm not a very religious person, but I did kind of quite like it as like a mourning process. But I think because of that, I think like Latinos traditionally have a very interesting outlook on death as like not really something that like Not like in a religious sense, but like it isn't the end, if that makes sense. Like people will live on, maybe not physically, but like spiritually, in memories or whatever the hell.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know. I know. I have friends and stuff that celebrate Dia de los Muertos, and while they don't do like the entire 9 yards of like they don't have like an ofrenda, I believe it is. Yeah, my Spanish is horrible, dude. They
It's
don't
okay,
have. They
mine
don't
is
have.
too.
They don't have this, that, and the other. It is cool to see like the tradition of like trying to keep somebody alive through memory and through experiences. What it sounds like you experienced was definitely more communal based, and that probably happens with like smaller, more tight knit communities like that. Where if we lived in like a city where yeah, I have friends right who live in like a lot of the Midwest, and they're like they talk about like hey, like our big part of town has like 300 people in it.
Very
Like,
small. Yeah.
I'm like, that's the big part of town. I was like, dude, I felt like I grew up in a small city, right? Which was like Livermore, basically. And that has like over 80,000 people. Not me realizing that even the city I lived with prior, where I think is even in the middle of more nowhere, Tracy has like over 100,000 people in Tracy. So it's just like, it's really crazy. I don't know. I don't know how many people there were at where you were, but it just sounds more communal. It sounds more tight knit, and I don't know. You probably not only do you feel the loss of somebody a lot more while you're in that community, but you also feel a lot more support from everybody that's in that community as well. Because it's not just a loss from you; it's a shared loss from everybody. So, I don't know. It's very interesting, right? I wonder what it would be like to have like that dynamic. I don't know. Just like I said, like a smaller, more tight knit community. I don't know.
Yeah. It was very nice. Like a lot of people did come out for my grandpa, which like kind of made me realize, oh my god, a lot of people did like my grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, when's the last time you've been to El Salvador?
November.
November, right?
It was for Thanksgiving. I was there for a week.
I remember you were posting all sorts of pictures in the in the server and such like, and it looked like you were having like a really good time.
It was wonderful. I got it was the first time I got very drunk with my family around.
Go on.
They did not I don't think they appreciated that.
Why not? Were you not the life of the party?
I was the life of the party. I think I was just too lively.
Man.
I was very too lively. I don't smoke in front of like my family because I feel like it's kind of weird. But like that was the only time I ever smoked in front of my mom, and it was just like I don't want to do that again.
Why? She was just so upset. She was like,
She was very clearly upset, but I also just feel like, you don't want to see you don't want your parents to see you in that light sometimes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like the only time I've ever like, yes, I do agree with you. I've seen the antithesis of that, right? Where one of my friends comes up to me. This was during my dad's 35th birthday party. One of my friends comes up to me and he's like, he's crying, right? And we're like, what's up? My mom, she's smoking. And then we turn and he runs up to her and she just turns and just blows smoke in his face.
She didn't give a fuck. I love her.
She was just like, shut the fuck up. Like, fuck you. Like, dude, her kid. And that was hilarious to me. That was the moment where I was like, damn, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. Just do what you want in this life, man.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, we've been going for a good while now, dude. I remember the last time I checked before we took our break, dude. The last time I checked the clock, it was like 36 minutes, and I was just like, oh, we've covered a lot of ground, good. Dude, we're taking a break and such, dude, but we're pushing like an hour 30, dude.
God damn.
We've talked about a lot of shit. I mean, we're probably gonna bring this episode to a close here relatively soon, unless we go off like on some crazy tangent, right? But talk to me. What does the future look like for P3rcival? I mean, do you want to, what's going on in your life, dude? And what do you want people to know about you? And, what's a piece of advice you may want to give to somebody in a similar position as yourself? Let's start off. That was a lot. I'm so fucking sorry.
I can start off with the first part. I mean, like right now, I'm kind of just working full time. I'm not currently in school, although it is something I would like to return to. Probably, I'm unsure about continue doing graphic design as a major, but is something I think I'm probably continue to have an interest in, just because like I clearly like doing a lot of patches and like clothing and like other things that I think look cool. I think like I don't know. I never really thought about like what I would like to be exactly in the world. I always thought like I have like so many different interests, which is kind of a blessing and a curse, I feel, because like you have so many interests, so you can just get into so many different things. But also you have so many different things you can get into. It's kind of hard to keep focus. I guess technically, like I think it'd be cool to be like a multimedia artist in some way. I don't know what that would look like, but that'd be kind of cool.
When you say, I know you just said I don't know what that looks like, but it's like, what do you like? You want to make videos with cool designs? You want to make music with like cool album covers? You want to make stupid memes all day of just like how like I don't know, like what does that look like? What does that mean? That's such a general statement.
Very clearly into graphic design and videos, and like doing kind of just like staying creative, basically. So like I don't know, maybe sell T-shirts, maybe like I said, I kind of want to do a video on Manhunt, which we don't need to talk about that anymore because we talked about it so much. But I think if I ever do get around to finishing that, I definitely want to do other things with that. Like to me, that me doing that video is kind of more like both an exercise as well as like a thing that I'm just really into. Because like I'm kind of learning, because my video editor of choice was always like Adobe. That's just what I known since like middle school. But I've recently been trying to learn like Final Cut Pro. So that would be cool to do.
I am very partial to DaVinci Resolve. So if you ever do decide to learn that, we definitely need help here at MADHouse.
I'd probably be down. It's free, right? Yeah.
There are two versions of DaVinci Resolve. There's a free version, which gives you almost everything. Mm-hmm. And then if you decide for whatever reason that you want to start editing in 8K or you start needing like certain AI tools, then yeah, that it's a one-time fee. And then after that, you're good to go after the one-time fee. But I really like it.
Yeah. But yeah, doing videos would be cool. It's kind of weird just like monetizing things you like to do, because like, you know, if you monetize things you love to do, it becomes a job. And like, you know, the way it was viewed work was that like all work is kind of hell. It just kind of depends on how much hell you want to deal with. And so like sometimes I feel like putting my interests into like monetizing it would be kind of scary, just because like I feel like I would lose interest fast. But like the positive of that is like it's something I am interested in, clearly. So I am eager to do things with it. Words of advice. I mean, I don't know, wear your loves on your sleeves, wear your interests on your sleeves. Like, I think I don't even just mean like me specifically, like the way I dress, but I also just mean like, you know, you love what you love, and I think it's important to carry that love with you, I guess.
And not to be afraid to express it.
Exactly, yeah.
To try to be yourself, right? And don't be afraid to be yourself as openly as possible.
Yeah, basically, like, I don't know, like people are too pussy to be like the world sucks right now. Just like be yourself at this point. Like, you got nothing to lose. Like, shame, fuck that. Pride, fuck that. Just do what you like to do, you know?
I certainly, that's something I do appreciate. And my challenge to you would be, again, like why I talked about MADHouse and it scratching so many itches, is my challenge to you is don't be afraid of not necessarily trying to make money off of something you love, but do something you love that just so happens to make money, right? I personally, I love video editing, right? And most certainly with the views that we have and all the different exposure that we've gotten, it's not enough to make money with yet, but it has the possibility to one day, right? It's not going to stop me from video editing. It's not going to stop me from, you know, whatever, right? So that's more of my challenge. It's just like, do it until the point that it does start feeling like a job where you, I don't know. And for me, it's been 4 years of me doing this, and I just don't really feel burnt out or anything quite yet. When I do feel burnt out is when I'm having to juggle like my day job, and then I'm having to do this, and I just don't feel like I have enough time. And I'm just like, bro, I have so many cool ideas. I wish I could expand on this more. So I don't know. Maybe get to the point where, I don't know, just try doing something. It might be your full-time gig, right? Like there's probably a guy out there who's like a farmer, and all he does is grow potatoes all day, every day, just to put bills, just to pay the bills. But then you come home, and this guy's like an amazing botanist, right? And he has like all these different flowers and tomatoes and stuff like growing in like his greenhouse at home. So you never know. He grows the potatoes, right? And then he just like fucking, this is some fictional character, right? But
I get you.
You get what I'm trying to get at, right? But I don't know, man. This was really, really cool. I'm really happy we got some time to talk right now.
Me too.
As I mentioned, the whole purpose of this show, guys, is I really want to explore a lot of characters in this community who I personally find really, really cool, or who I believe their story needs to be told. And Percival has been on this list for a very long time, man. I'm really happy because at some point we're gonna have to throw another Street Fighter the movie tournament, and we're gonna
more street bullshit.
We're gonna have to have you in something, right? Help you continue to be as expressive as possible, and then hopefully you can help out with
the way my friends described that tournament, I'm never going to forget it. It was Battle by the Bins.
Yes, no, yeah. They said that was the actual name of the bracket, right?
Yeah, that was the name. Yeah, we need to have more Battle by the Bins.
Yeah.
More trash. Yeah.
But hey, guys, if you want to be on the podcast, you go ahead, you reach out to me. If you guys want to support MADHouse and you guys want to support the brand, feel free to subscribe to me at Twitch, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff here on YouTube, or do the same thing all with Bay Area MADHouse. I'll post the links down in the description, but this has been a really fun one. Hopefully we do this again really soon. We do this again. Yes. We do this again really soon. I've been struggling now with trying to come up with a catchphrase, but I think something that Percival said really fits me really well. So, hey, I always ask people if they think they're slick. I know everybody here in my viewers, I know you guys are all slick. So, hey, stay mad or stay slick, stay safe. It doesn't matter. I don't know. Just fucking everybody, you have a good night tonight. Later, yo.
Bye-bye. That was sick.
I think so.
I need to go pee. I'm going to do that real quick.